Hello everybody. Lori here from Unique in the Creek. Say hello when you come in. I am going to work on a center, a flower center. So this is just going to be a quick live. It is an impromptu live, so hopefully you have your notifications on. Whether you're watching me on YouTube or Facebook, have your notifications on because every so often I just pop on. Hello, my friends. So, have you ever wanted to make a flower? You know, I love my flower wreaths, and flower season is coming in. So, I just wanted to show you guys something. It probably already occurred to you guys. Hello, everybody. Hello. Sometimes you want to make a flower and you got, your mash colors that you want to make with this flower, but you don't have the right flower center or the right color flower center. Okay? Like for instance, this is just one of our normal faux sunflower centers. Okay? I have a gazillion of them kicking around my craft room. But I was thinking, I want to have a white flower center for my next flower project that I'm making. So I'm going to show you guys what you can do if you run into this predicament where, you have a bunch of pre-made centers, but you don't want this particular one. Hello. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the back side of this flower center. This flower center is just foam. You can, if you want, you could peel all this off, but honestly, once we're done, you're not going to be able to see any of this, and neither is your customer. Okay, so there's no need to peel all this off. Another way you can change the color of a center, especially with these faux flower ones, is you can actually spray paint them. Now, I've done that before. There is a tutorial. It's really quick because all you have to do is take some Krylon paint or Rust-Oleum paint or whatever spray paint you have in the color center you want. I don't know. I have a shelf full of spray paints. A lot of crafters have all kinds of spray paint. And you can actually take this outside and just spray paint it any color you want. So I think the tutorial I did was I just spray painted the whole center a brown, like a chocolate brown. Okay, and then you just let it dry. So you can change the color of your center that way, or the way I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to take this flower center. You're going to need some glue for this. Hello, everybody. I'm going to turn my glue gun on. You're going to need a few glue sticks. Now, I'm going to be using this leftover yarn. I made a heart wreath not too long ago with this yarn and some florals. That is on our YouTube channel as well. So I have this leftover yarn. And I was looking at it and I'm like, because it's the Loopy yarn, I'm like, this would make a great flower center. Because the loops will kind of stick up. And I'm going to be making a blue ombre flower later on. I do have a yellow center for my blue ombre center. But I think because it goes from navy blue to royal blue to a very light iridescent blue, I think I wanted a white center for it. So here we go. I got the yarn. So we're gonna do this. We're going to make a loopy yarn center. So the first thing, like I said, turn your glue gun on because you are going to need glue. In the center of your styrofoam, now you can use a half ball that's not like a pre-made one. I'm just showing you in case you have a bunch of different centers that you may not use or they're not the right color kicking around, okay? I'm going to take my glue gun and right in the center of this foam, there is a little dot there. I'm just going to press down with my hot glue onto that center there. So it's going to make a hole in the middle of my center here, okay? So I kind of want it a little bit big. So I'm just kind of using the heat from the end of my glue gun, going around and making the hole in the center a little bit bigger. Now I do this for roping, so the bling rope and everything. So we're going to try it with some yarn. That should be good. All right. Just a poker, just scissors. So I'm going to take the end of my yarn, and in that hole I just did, I'm going to put some hot glue in there. Then I'm going to take the end, now not the loop, I'm going to cut that loop off. I actually want the actual end of the, and I'm going to push the end of my yarn just down into that hole. Okay, give it a few seconds to catch on. Yeah, I will be adding a pipe cleaner and a cable mount on the back side, on this side. Okay, so this is good. So when you're using this particular yarn, it's a loopy yarn, like I said, there is a flat, not a flat part, but a straight part. And I'm gonna wanna have that straight part, or that straight edge, against the styrofoam so my little loops stick up, okay? So it's gonna take a little bit of care to do this to make sure it's done properly. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue just where I added right into the center, and I'm gonna kind of twist it around with that flat part of my yarn against the foam. So my little loops are sticking up. So I'm just going to stop there for a second, let it catch, because we need we need a good start right from the beginning to make a nice center. Okay, we're good. So I'm just going to continue around, adding little bits of glue. And as I'm going around the center, I'm making sure that that flat part of my yarn is against the foam. So it's giving it almost like a 3D effect. So I think once I'm done this, I don't think people will really be able to tell, or they'll have a hard time being able to tell what I used to make this center. So even if you just want to grab, it looks like if you just grab a loop and then bring it around, it actually brings that flat or straight part of the yarn. Keep those loops upwards. Ooh, pretty cool. Yeah, there's always all different kinds of ways to make flower centers, but like I said, if you have a flower center and it's a color you'll probably not use, change it up, use it up. So again, I'm kind of pushing these loops up, so when I put the glue down, loops are standing up. So you can use yarn, you can use rope, you can pretty much use whatever you want to change up a center. Now we'll go right to the edge so you will not see any of the brown. That's why I said you don't even need to bother taking that flocking off the front. Dorothy Quakenbush, I have not seen your name in a long time. How you been? Where have you been? Oh, this looks, it almost looks like the pom-poms. You know, gluing the individual pom-poms on. Missed you too, Dorothy. You have a whole box of flower centers. There you go, Judes. You can make them any color you want. Like I said, I wanted a white one, but I didn't want just a flat white one. And then my eye cut the leftover yarn I had. It's turning out pretty cool. Oh, geez, Dorothy. I'm so sorry you have your hands full. No wonder we haven't seen you. I'm so sorry to hear about all that. Wow. Did you guys see the beautiful wreath that Jackie made last night? Oh my gosh. It was stunning. Almost done. Look how cool that is. I don't know if you guys can see it because I am using white on white. Now, if you're possibly using like a darker color yarn or rope or whatever, you may want to paint the white styrofoam just in case you don't get, like, if your yarn or roping is not like totally butt up against each other, that you may see the white styrofoam peeking through. and you may not want that. So you may want to do a quick painting of your base of your flower center, the color that you're going to be using of the rope. Now you can just get the paint from like the dollar store, nothing fancy. You don't have to do a full coat, just enough to dull the white. Say if you're using black yarn, you might see a little bit of the white foam peek through, and you may not want that. Just give it a quick coat of some black paint. Just cheapy old acrylic black paint. But because I'm using white, I don't have that problem. This is pretty cool. It definitely gives it lots of dimension. Hello everybody. I did not do a notification or nothing. I just kind of popped on here. I was getting ready to prep a flower and I decided, hey, I don't want to use this center. I want to use a white center. So we're changing it to a white center. So just take your time. Just make sure I have my, like I said, my little loops. And I believe this particular yarn, I did buy it at Amazon. And I will put the links, but I believe it's under Lori's Favorite Tools on the website already for both Canadian and American. It's just that, what's that called? I think it's just called Loops yarn. But after my live, I will put the name and the SKU again in the description because they have all colors. Can't find me on Facebook at uniqueinthecreek.com, Brenda. Or, sorry, Unique in the Creek on Facebook. Okay, we're getting to the end. As you can see, I'm not even finished, but you don't end up seeing this flocking stuff. I love flower wreaths. I love this time of the year because I can do as many flower wreaths as I want and nobody will complain because it's flower wreath season, my favorite season of all. Ooh, look how cool. All right, we got one more around and we should be done. So it really didn't use very much yarn whatsoever. Thank you, Dorothy. Guys, I really was not wanting to open a store. Well, not me personally. I'm not really in the store. My son and his wife, they run the store. So it's kind of their baby. I just help them design it and help them get things going. But with what happened with the United States, we kind of had to pivot a bit, and a store made sense. But it's a fabulous little store. And you get to see you know, instead of if you're not an online shopper and you like to feel everything and touch everything and see everything, you can absolutely do that. Just pop them in the store. We are 5 minutes away from the United States border. Literally, the first exit after you get off of Queenston-Lewiston Bridge is Stanley Avenue, which is the street our store is on. 2625 Stanley Avenue in Niagara Falls. They're opened 10 to 3, Monday to Saturday. Sunday it's closed. Okay, we're almost done. So these loops are coming over the side, so that's why you won't see the brown flocking. Oh, found it. You found us, Brenda. Okay, well, almost done here. So this is a 6.25 inch faux sunflower center that I'm using the back side of. Okay, a little bit right here, and then we're done. There we go. Okay, let me just finish this off. Okay. Here's where it started. I started right at the end right there. So a little bit of elbow work, but turns out pretty fabulous. Let's see. I'll cut this off. Oh dear, I can make another one. I thought I would use it all up, but I guess not. Just be very careful with your hot glue and your placement of your yarn so you're not burning your fingers, or use the little finger sleeves if you have them. Okay, so I'm going to put the glue is drying. I'm going to put my cable mount and pipe cleaner on. So I'm just going to put it in the middle. Okay, so I'm just taking a cable mount and a gray pipe cleaner, putting the gray pipe cleaner through the center of the cable mount, and I'm going to put hot glue right in the middle of the center there. Put that down, push down so that the cable mount, you can hear some sizzling. Don't use your fingers, use your scissors to push down. And the cable mount and the glue kind of melt into the foam. You like that, eh? That's cute. All right. We now just made an absolutely brand new, fun looking flower center that is going to go on a blue ombre. I'm going to do a blue ombre flower. I haven't got my stuff prepped, but I am going to prep it. So it's got, this is why, I was going to use the yellow, but we got the light blue, we got royal blue, and then we got navy blue with a white center. Let's see. No, I think I like it going dark to light to the white center. Isn't that going to be fabulous? Anyways, that is all I wanted to show you guys. I figured I might as well go live while I'm making up a new center here. So there you go. Some of those centers you think, oh, I'm never going to use that color. Change them up. Change it up. Look how cool this is. It's very 3D. Kind of look, like I said, it kind of looks like pom-poms. Individual pom-poms, but very fun. So if you have a brown center but you want a yellow one, grab some yellow yarn or look in your craft thing. We all have yarn and rope and everything. Just flip it over. Okay? And that's it. That's all I wanted to show you guys. All right, I'm going to prep my mesh, and hopefully I will be live tonight at 7 o'clock. Okay, so we'll see you guys all then. Bye, everybody.